Relationship advice. I, 33 male, found out my wife, 33 female, slept with brother 2 days before our wedding. Me and my wife got married in the middle of June. We've been together for 6 years and engaged for 1 before we got married. I thought everything was great, and it was. I never had any suspicions of any cheating on her part. Saturday morning my brother calls me, and says he needs to talk to me. I head over to his apartment and one of his friends is there. He sits me down and he starts crying out of nowhere. He says that he and my wife attended a day party. I knew she was going to a party, but didn't know my brother was attending as well, 2 days before our wedding. They got drunk as hell and they ended up having sex. He says he doesn't remember any details besides the fact that they effed. I blacked out. I started punching him like crazy. His friend eventually pulls him off of me and I head home fuming with rage. I'm not sure how bad I hurt my brother, but according to his friend, I knocked a couple of teeth out and fractured his jaw. So, I didn't hurt him too bad. I get home and confront my wife. She begins to deny it. So, I tell her I heard it straight from my brother's mouth. So, she confessed to it. She says they got so drunk they had no control of their actions. When they realized what they did, they promised to keep it a secret and never let me find out. I kicked her butt out. She's been staying with her sister since Saturday. And to make sure she couldn't spin the story, I contacted both sides of our families and all of our mutual friends. I don't know what to do now. I feel so broken. 1 month in and my marriage is freaking ruined. So what now? Now for the top advice. You should look into getting an annulment. You can get an annulment on grounds of adultery. It's going to vary state by state, but I was more of thinking you might be able to get one, because you got married less than 2 months ago. I'm not sure about that, but I'll look into it. Being drunk is never an excuse. It's an ironic statement considering she has great liquor control. So yeah. 1 month in and my marriage is freaking ruined. This is a positive, at least you didn't invest more years into the marriage, even worse, have kids. You can have a clean break. Good luck with it all. I'm beginning to realize how lucky I am to find out about this so early. And thanks. She says they got so drunk they had no control of their actions. Sorry, but this would result in falling down, not rigorous sexual intercourse with your fiancé's brother. Yep. I've gotten drunk plenty of times, and never once has cheating crossed my mind. Now for the next story. My sister, 39 female, is constantly flirting with my husband, 32 male, and I'm, 29 female, at my final straw. How can I cut her off without alienating my niece, 15 female? My sister is a very self-centered person in general. She loves attention, especially from men. She is constantly flirting with my husband, asking him whether he regrets the sister he chose, making explicit innuendos etc., even though we have both told her that it was inappropriate and to cut it out. We have even tried to cut her off, but made peace because I wanted to have a relationship with my niece. My sister honestly is not a very responsible parent. My niece frequently asks to come over, even offers to babysit our 3-year-old, and have even stayed with me and husband a couple of times, but my sister always makes a huge fuss and she moves back. My niece has told me that the constant parade of men she brings home makes her uncomfortable, as she would like her home to be a safe space, but the fact that these men come over to smoke, hang around and sometimes to have intercourse with her mother, makes her uncomfortable. I've told her that she's always welcome in my house, and my parents have even told her she can move in with them, but I think she's still not ready to admit defeat and move away from her mom. Honestly, this Christmas when we got together, the situation where we live is fine. Not US, she was doing the most to make me and my husband uncomfortable with her banner, and at one point she straight up put my husband's hand on her boob, to feel the sweater material. I just don't want to have to deal with her drama anymore. But at the same time, the last time we cut her off, she made it impossible for my niece to visit us or talk to us, and I don't want to abandon her like that. Is it even possible to cut off my sister without cutting off my niece? Now for the top advice. I'd give your niece a talk before you cut off your sister. She's old enough to understand the situation and it's enough. Tell her she can call you anytime or hang out whenever, but that her mom might not let her after you cut her off. You need to be prepared for that. Your husband is uncomfortable and so are you, and if you want to keep your marriage good, then you need to do what's best for your family, and that might mean just getting calls from your niece until she's old enough. Is an emergency fund for niece a good idea? Even just a cash stash or prepaid card so she can get back to her aunts if she feels unsafe at home? Have you tried confronting her about her behavior? I honestly don't see a way where you can cut your sister off without impacting your relationship with your niece. I have. It took me years to honestly build up that courage. She's 10 years older than me, and so I used to be intimidated, but she hasn't changed her behavior and I'm honestly at a breaking point. I mean, my niece is 15, so I guess I could tolerate her for 3 more years, but I also have to think about my son who I don't want exposed to her at all, to be very honest. I had to cut my own sister out, not for this, but because of a toxic personality, safety risks for me and my family, and her just demanding I get a divorce or else she'd shoot my dog. 'Cause she's crazy. It was bad for a few months. She cut me off from my nephews. But then eventually got tired of fighting it, and let me see them via other relatives. You should cut her off for your own well-being, and figure out if she can still contact you through her cell phone or your parents. The next story is titled, My, 26 male, wife, 27 female, and my brother, 27 male, have gotten super close, and it's to the point where it is starting to seem weird to me. I'm not sure what to do. I've been married to my wife for 3 years now. She's been a natural flirt her whole life. I've known this since we dated. She harmlessly flirts with guys from time to time, and it's always nothing too far or too crazy. I never have been too uncomfortable with this, as she claims to only do it when I'm around because she knows that it makes me want her more. She just likes the attention too. She has claimed she has never cheated on me or any of her exes. I believe her, as I feel that I have no reason not to. I'm on her phone all of the time, and never notice anything suspicious. Her and my brother have hit it off well, ever since they first met. The 3 of us hang out a lot, and they do alone occasionally. I've never had a problem with this either. It never really hit me that something could be going on between them. My wife and I have a pretty nice house. I was lucky to land my dream job and make good money. My brother has been less fortunate though. He dropped out of high school, and has had a few stunts in jail. Nonetheless, I still love him and enjoy his company. He is always welcome over at our house. He doesn't live there, but he stays over a good bit. He doesn't have a home, so he's either staying with us or at his friends. Even with all of his problems, he has always been a ladies' man. I guess that is where some of my worries have come from. I know that many women find him very attractive. My wife works from home now, so there's a good bit of the time that they are at home alone together. At first, I didn't think anything of it. Everything seemed normal to me. Over time, I've noticed more and more weird things though. Sometimes when I come home, they will be laying on our bed or my brother's bed together. They aren't cuddling, but it's still weird to me. Sometimes my wife will only have her underwear on when around him. She has seen him naked a few times. One of the times when she walked in on him naked, she whistled at him. I couldn't tell if it was to be funny or flirty. He will also walk around close to naked from time to time. She really almost treats us both the same. It's like we are both her husband. She hugs him, kisses him on the cheek, and flirts with him. Recently, I came home to see her cuddling with him on the couch. I don't know why it was this that took me to my breaking point, but it was. I finally asked them what they were doing. She just said, we are relaxing. What does it look like? I snapped and told her to get up, and for him to leave. He was confused as to what was going on. I cursed at him and told him that he needed to leave now. He looked confused, but eventually walked out. My wife asked what that was about. I told her that I was finally fed up with how they've been with each other, and that it seems like there's something going on between them. She got mad at me for accusing her, and said that their relationship was completely healthy and normal, and that nothing was going on. She said she sees him like her brother. She yelled at me some more, and then locked herself in our room. She has barely spoken to me at all since. My brother hasn't been back since that either. I don't want to ruin my relationship with either of them. I realize that I may not have handled this correctly, but I just was not feeling comfortable anymore. What should I do from here? I really am so lost. Now for the top advice. Sometimes when I come home, they will be laying on our bed or my brother's bed together. They aren't cuddling, but it's still weird to me. Sometimes my wife will only have her underwear on when around him. I'm sorry, what? There is a difference between being a natural flirt and being downright disrespectful to a monogamous significant other. This is rightly weird to you because it is weird. I understand you feel as though you shouldn't have snapped, but this is definitely worth bringing up to both of them, when you're feeling more calm about their relationship being too close for your comfort. This would bother me too. 100% this. Stick to your guns OP. Also, your wife is contradicting herself. She says they are like brother and sister? But would a sister whistle at their naked brother? Would a sister walk around in their underwear in front of their brother? Do sisters flirt with their brother? And vice versa, because your brother has some responsibility here too. Boundaries are not being respected here, and you need to lay this out to her because this is not how a brother and sister would act. Also have a chat with your brother too, because he needs to understand where the boundaries are too. Yeah, parading around in underwear in front of him, kissing and cuddling him, and whistling at him naked, are the things she is doing in front of you. So, imagine what's going on when you're not there. I'm sorry man, but that's not normal and they're both taking advantage of you. Right. And how bad is the flirting he doesn't see, before he gets home to find them laying in bed together? How the hell do the wife and brother think that it is okay for the brother to be in the husband's room with his wife laying in their bed? Her being in his room alone is also just thoughtless and disrespectful, let alone laying in bed together when the hubby isn't home. I'd almost guarantee, with them being this comfortable out in the open, and with them being home alone together all day every day, that they have had some oops moments. I don't want to ruin my relationship with either of them. You aren't ruining anything. They are. They are not ruining anything. It is ruined. The last story is titled, My future brother-in-law, 36 male, suggested that my fiancé, 26 male, should be put down, and flirted with me, 25 female, in front of him. What should I do? So, my wonderful fiancé and I have been together for over 10 years, and are, fingers crossed, getting married next summer. We have been engaged for over a year now. We are both big family people, and have a close relationship with each other's families. But when we were visiting his parents over Christmas, my future brother-in-law, 36, got really drunk and was saying a lot of dumb things. We were playing a board game with my future Mill, and when it was clear that their team, Bill and Mill, was going to lose, my Bill started calling my fiancé insulting names. It then evolved to him suggesting that my fiancé should be put down, like an animal, and that he and I was a much better match. He also called my fiancé the family's white sheep, because his life is going pretty much according to plan, nice apartment, stable relationship, and just finished a good education. My Bill was very drunk, and has had a very bad year, got divorced, ended up all alone in lockdown, and hasn't been able to see his 2 kids a lot because of that. The rest of us just kind of laughed at him like he was joking, but he just kept on going. I just smiled and says jokingly that jealousy doesn't suit him, which he ignored. We all went to bed soon after. The next day, my fiancé and I slept in, and when we got up, he had gone home. My fiancé was clearly hurt, but also worried for his brother. He thinks that my Bill is a bit depressed, and maybe has started a drinking problem, and don't really want to confront him or anything. I actually really like my Bill. Normally he is a really sweet man, but the very awkward drunk flirting right in front of my fiancé and mother-in-law was just so uncomfortable. Mill just laughed the entire thing off as a joke. I am certain that my Bill is not interested in me, but just wanted to upset my fiancé. My Bill is going to be my fiancé's best man at our wedding, which just makes everything worse. Both me and my fiancé are very non-confrontational people, and a part of me just want to ignore the entire thing. My Bill was really drunk and has obviously had a hard year. So, what do you think? What should I and my fiancé do? Now for the advice. Stand well back and don't get involved, while they sort it out between them. By the way, normally he is a really sweet man, yeah no. Drunk words tend to be honest words. I can forgive a drunken brother for trash-talking his little bro during a game, so I'm not worried about the put-down comment. However, there's no excuse for him flirting with you, and making you feel uncomfortable. Sounds to me like your Bill is terribly jealous of his 10 years younger brother. I don't think you should do anything. Your fiancé needs to deal with his brother. Drunk or not, his behavior was unacceptable, and your fiancé needs to tell him it will never happen again. And don't hang out with him if he's drinking. I'm going to have to disagree a little bit from the general crowd. I do think you shouldn't be the one to confront the Bill, but maybe voice your concerns to your fiancé and to check on his brother. On my mind, it's more a matter of, are you okay? Rather than being concerned of any move against you. It seems like life has just caught up to Bill, and envy came into play in a moment of vulnerability. I don't believe anyone when they say they didn't mean it because they were drunk. Maybe the words said while drunk might be harsher, but usually the feelings are still there. All in all, maybe just mentioning to your significant other that they should talk or make a point to interact more. But if he doesn't make a move, I don't think it's appropriate for you to confront the bill. Would probably make it worse. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.